Yo, if you didn't know, Tekashi 69 finally got caught slipping in the LA Fitness and got lumped up pretty good. Wasn't too bad though. I mean, he walked out of there. They could have lumped him up more than that, you know what I'm saying? But they lumped him up enough to get the message across, you know? And you gotta know that this type of stuff gonna catch up with you, man. As much as Tekashi talked over the years and this, that, and other, and it surprised me it took this long, to be honest. But another thing that surprises me but shouldn't surprise me is that, it don't surprise me, is that the dudes in question put their name on it. Like, they posted it, put ADR, I guess that was the crew that they part of or whatever. It was a couple dudes taking part of it, a couple dudes jumping them, and then one dude was video camera or whatever. But they linked it back to allegedly a guy named Bullet or something Guzman. I'm gonna put his stuff up. But apparently, allegedly, this is one of the guys that took part in the beating. Oh, man, swole for sure. DJ Academics had me cracking up, talking about, you know, pulled up on me like, what you say about Lil Baby? I said it's my favorite artist. Why didn't you hear that I said? I might have tried to pull that. What they had up on the thing? You're going to have to catch me, cuz. I know you ain't, big as you is, I know you can't run that fast, okay? You're going to have to catch me. It's just, I still don't understand the let me tell on myself part of this game. Like, I just remember a time where people would catch you slipping, but they still didn't want to be on camera for it. You know what I'm saying? And to have to, apparently my man had done some time before. And so, I mean, if this was me, I would not want to risk doing time for something like this. And I don't know if it was an actual situation that occurred between him and the dudes and then they decided to put hands on him, or if it was just, hey, we know this dude has been talking crazy on the internet all this time, and then there you go. Let's get him. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, a moment to jump on him and go viral. I don't really understand it because it just, I understand putting hands to him. I just don't understand posting it and putting your name on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that part I'm still having a hard time with. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I knew it was going to be done at some point, though, as crazy as Tekashi talked. And he, you know, swore back in the day he was on Breakfast Club, like, oh, I talk the way I talk because I know how I move and I can't, you know, they can't touch me. And it's like, okay, man, whenever you talking as crazy as you talking like that, you got to remember that it's going to come back to bite you. We all have to realize that the stuff we put out here, we're going to have to deal with at some point. Like, it's going to come back to and be at our doorstep at some point. And this is all of us, men, women, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, once we put it out there, especially on this internet, like, you have to realize it's going to show back up on your doorstep. Either with you telling on yourself with the police because they watching, with you getting caught up with the dudes that you talking to crazy. And you know what I'm saying? And it's just like Charles somebody said this, like, it's no honor amongst thieves. Like, we need to stop acting like it is. Like, if you take a group of 10 dudes that's doing thievery together, when somebody get caught up or when everybody get caught up, you acting like they gonna all of a sudden be honorable. They're not. They're not. Somebody's telling on somebody to get back home to their family. And largely, people are telling on each other to get back home to their family because there's no consequences afterwards. I mean, look how long it took before somebody that put hands on Tekashi 69, as crazy as he was talking for so long. Talked crazy, people ratted on, he ratted on people, got out, still was talking crazy, kept talking crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? And look how long it took for somebody to lay hands on him. So it's no honor amongst thieves. People like, largely because when people do show that it's no honor amongst thieves and rat and tell on people and this, that, and other, when they get home, they don't have to deal with no consequences. They can walk around with a little bit of shame on their head. Like, oh, he ratted. But ain't nobody doing nothing about it. Ain't nobody doing nothing as much as everybody talk about it. And I'm not advocating more violence or whatever, but I'm just saying, if you going by the way that the gangsters and everybody that's in this type of lifestyle is talking, you would expect something happened to these people after they got to ratting or talking the way they was talking, right? So I don't see nothing happening largely. I see people coming home and living their life like they used to. And from that, it means it's just going to be more rats. To me, it's going to be more people telling. You know what I'm saying? Because the consequences aren't there. And especially for the other side of the tracks, like if you look at George Zimmerman and this guy killed Trayvon Martin, it was a travesty. And you just look around, you like everybody, all the gangsters in the world, as crazy as all the gangsters be talking. And somehow George Zimmerman was still like at events signing Skittles bags and everything, just rubbing it in people's face. You know what I'm saying? And not nan gangster. Thought it enough. We don't mind being gangster with each other, shooting each other in the face all the time. But when it comes to somebody outside the community that may need some hands laid on them, we don't react the same way. But I'm just saying, it will at some point catch up with you, as we can see in the Tekashi 6ix9ine situation. And I want to say that to Charleston White too, because Charleston, he gets it. He comes across very over the top, but a lot of times he be making sense to the stuff he be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if he called some rappers kids out their name or whatever, say something crazy about them, shock jock type stuff. He trying to get attention. So, because attention equals money for him. Same thing Tekashi 6ix9ine used to do. But somebody gonna catch a hold of you one day, bro. And it's amazing that some of the stuff Charleston White has done as far as being behind the scenes, trying to work with lawmakers and getting stuff done for the community, this, that, and another. He's done a lot. But it wasn't working in him trying to do it in a professional manner. So he saw that the cussing and the fussing and the talking crazy worked better. So that's what he switched his gears to. And then it equaled money for him. So he kept doing it. So, but given the way that he tends to go about his method, because he's saying, like he said about, if he talks crazy about somebody, some rapper's kids or something like that, like the rappers would be like, oh, that's over the top. That's too much. But then his response is like, well, why isn't it over the top or too much when y'all talking about shooting people in the face and murdering people's kids and shooting people's mamas? And you know what I'm saying? Why isn't that over the top when y'all talk about it in our raps or when y'all do it in real life? And he has a point. But I'm just going to say, point you may have, but somebody's going to lay hands on you as crazy as you talking sooner or later. And this was light with Tekashi, I'm going to say. Like, because they could have beat him to the point where he wasn't able to walk out of there. Where he was they had to wheel that ambulance bed in there and come roll him out. But he walked out, so they touched him enough to get the message across, but, wasn't really trying to kill him. I guess why they was willing to sign their names to the to the video. But I'm just gonna say, man, it's the word I'm trying to say. Repercussions to everything we do out here. Like, you can't think that you just gonna be like, I mean, come on, presidents that got shot, and Malcolm X that got shot and killed. And, come on, man, like Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. If they can kill a president, then what makes you think they can't catch up? Somebody can't catch up with you. Anybody can be touched. Anybody can be touched. Especially someone like a rapper who's moving this, that, and the other every day, talking crazy. Like you got tour dates that you gotta be at where people know you're gonna be there, and yeah, you might have security, but I'm just saying, it's always a way to get in. And if you don't believe me, just look at the groupies. Just look at the groupies. I'm surprised people don't use groupies to execute these plans of laying hands on people as much, because the groupie always make it to the room. She always make it through whatever group in whatever city. It is some thirsty and persistent chicks out here that will make it to your door. And I'm just saying. So if they can get there, I'm sure if somebody really, really wanted to lay hands on you, could get there too. But you tell me what you think about the whole situation. Did Takashi deserve it? Did he finally? You think he finally gonna shut up? Like, do you think the dude should have signed their name to this? Like, but hey, let me know what you think, what you don't think. It's your boy Pete Camp. Get at your boy.